Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is the Weather Xtreme video, the morning edition for Tuesday, April 9th. Get ready for the warmest weather so far this year. Maybe some severe weather problems Thursday. A lot to talk about. We'll try and answer all your questions. Let's start with some of the Skycam shots early this morning. And hey, look at that. That's the brand new Regions Field in downtown Birmingham. Looking good. They've got the lights up early this morning at 5 o'clock as they are working feverishly to get the stadium ready for opening night, which is tomorrow night. And I think there's a pretty good chance the game will be played dry. No promises, but it's going to look like a warm, breezy night with temperatures in the 70s, maybe even around 80 at the first pitch. The big storm day will be Thursday. Of course, there's a lot of work to do out there, but the game is a sellout, and I think the place just looks great. Really looks good from our Skycam on top of the Daniel building. That's the Tuscaloosa Skycam. It's cloudy and mild, and there's our camera down in Gulf Shores. Ooh, boy, anytime it's April and you see a look like that, you know that's trouble. Had a whopper of a trough in the west, and that will be progressive, advancing to the east in coming days, stirring up a big fuss. For some people, it's going to be a big snowstorm. For others, it will be severe weather. Temperatures this morning as cool as 50 up in Fort Payne, but Tuscaloosa is sitting at 65, another 15-degree swing, and that is why this is not a one-number place when it comes to forecasting morning lows most of the time. And around the nation, ooh, look at the cold air flooding in behind that developing low. Goodness, out in Colorado, they'll drop into the teens today with snow. Not going to feel like spring, but you can see the very warm air flooding the southern plains in advance of that system. Back in the cold air, winter storm warnings, even some blizzard warnings in effect for parts of Colorado and Utah. And in the warm sector, look at the moderate risk. Roughly from Wichita Falls up to a point near Oklahoma City, maybe just east of there. And surrounding that, a slight risk as far north as southern Iowa. And the tornado percentages are pretty high. That's a very high number for a tornado probability, 10% in that moderate risk area. So we'll be on the lookout for any significant tornadoes out there today. Tomorrow, the risk expands onto the east, running from Houston up through Shreveport, Memphis, Jackson, Little Rock, Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio. The enhancement, and that's a big enhancement, that's a 45% ring in the middle of that between Little Rock and Memphis. And again, we'll have to look out for some significant tornadoes in there. But the enhanced 30% risk runs from Louisiana up into Indiana. And on day 3, we are now in a slight risk, and includes most all of Alabama, the Gulf Coast as far north as Cincinnati. And there is an enhancement on day 3. The 30% probabilities are basically south and east of Birmingham. And we'll look at this in great detail here in just a minute. Rain will be pretty heavy. The latest guidance coming in with more rain. This is showing amounts of about 2 inches for the northern half of Alabama. So we might have to watch for some flash flooding issues. Don't think it will be a major widespread problem, but it certainly can't be ruled out on Thursday. All right, model fans, let's take a look. This is the GFS, the OZ run, valid at 1 o'clock local time today. This is at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet up. There's the big trough in the southwest. We've got ridging here, and down below that, the day should be dry and warm with low 80s. The GFS is at 82, a mix of sun and clouds, becoming maybe breezy a little today, but the higher winds are still west of here. And look at the snow for Colorado and Nebraska. That is a big, look at the isobar packing. I mean, that's going to be a blizzard, a raging blizzard. That's remarkable. And a big 1037 high feeding the cold air into that. And, of course, south and east of the surface low, you'll probably have severe weather, potential for all modes of severe weather today. Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, it's going to be a rough day out there. Tomorrow, the surface low is 1,008 millibars. It's over Missouri, and the core of the storms are still west of the state. And we're going to be warm. The GFS is now ramped up to 85 tomorrow. Woo! It's going to toward record territory. Not a record, but it's close to it. And be rather breezy. Pretty good south wind kicks in. The sky partially sunny, and I really think the capping inversion will keep us dry. I can't rule out the chance of a shower late in the day or Wednesday evening, but most places dry. And obviously the big storm action is off to the west. Again, Arkansas, Louisiana, parts of southeast Missouri. Could be a rough day. Now, our day's Thursday. This is the look at 500 millibars. This is 1 o'clock local time Thursday afternoon. Obviously, a lot of dynamic support. And we note that little impulse around Houston. We'll see if that plays a role in it. You see the higher vorticity down on the Texas coast in the base of the trough. And down below that, here comes the batch of storms. Now, the GFS remains kind of an outlier. It's the fastest model. Most of the other models are slower. And again, this is 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon. It's got the squall line coming in here. And we think the dominant issue will be a squall line. And we're going to look at the parameters here in just a moment. Let's check the NAM. This is the same time. This is 1 o'clock local time Thursday afternoon. It's slower. It's got the main batch of storms just kind of getting into west and northwest Alabama. And I really think we're going to leave our window as it is. Now, there could be some storms really early Thursday morning, but the core severe weather threat, we're thinking 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Let's look at the RPM. This is the highest resolution model we have in the house. This is 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon, same time. Notice it's got the squall line still over the Interstate 55 corridor in Mississippi, really. Now, in advance of that, we'll have to watch these discrete cells that try and form out ahead of that. But with this situation, we think it's going to be mainly a squall line. This is 7 p.m. Thursday, and there's your squall line. That's a pretty nasty one. It's lined up from near Huntsville down to Birmingham and almost to Mobile. And then just after midnight Thursday night, this is 1 a.m. Friday, storms are continuing down in southeast Alabama. So the RPM really jives up with that 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. timing, and really the RPM is suggesting it's going to be an afternoon and evening issue. All right, let's peg the weather geek meter. Of course, if you're watching this video, you're used to that. This is the CAPE, surface-based instability, valid at 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon local time off the NAM. And those are just not overwhelming numbers. All the models have a thick cloud cover in place on Thursday, highs in the low 70s. The really better instabilities are east of here, over Georgia and the Carolinas, over 750 joules per kilogram, and the numbers here are just not that impressive. They are under 750 joules. So for an April event, that's not overwhelming, and it's looked that way for days. The model consistency has been good. This is the low-level jet. This is the wind field at 850 millibars, about 5,000 feet off the ground. And again, it's not overwhelming. Low-level jet is about 30 to 40 knots over the state. This is the shear, the bulk shear between the surface and about 5,000 feet, and those numbers are just not impressive at all. So again, we think the tornado threat will be low. It's not zero, but it's pretty low. Damaging straight-line winds will be the main issue here. And there's the EHI, the Energy Helicity Index numbers, and you really want to see those green shades where it's over 1, and they are over southeast Alabama. And again, Georgia seems to have better, really severe weather parameters than we do with this thing. So really no change in our thinking. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., a line of strong to severe storms, strong, maybe damaging straight-line winds. The primary threat, although we cannot rule out the chance of an isolated tornado. And, of course, we'll keep watching things. Friday, everything's gone. The sky clears. Highs drop back into the upper 60s. Saturday will be a beautiful day to start the weekend. We'll be in the 40s early in the morning. The high should be in the low to mid-70s. The GFS is at 73, a delightful spring day. Sunday looks good. We'll call it partly sunny. The high in the upper 70s. Got a strong storm system way up north. It won't bother us. And notice the moisture lurking down there in the Gulf of Mexico. That might bring a few showers to the Gulf Coast on Sunday. And then Monday, that moisture surges north, and it's kind of cloudy-ish and warm and muggy and the chance of showers, but really no severe weather with that look. And pretty much the same deal on Tuesday, kind of a cloudy-ish type warm day, maybe a shower, but nothing severe and probably nothing very organized. Go out there on the 19th. This is toward the end of next week, and that looks fairly wet. Maybe some decent storms there. Again, wet on April 22nd, but that's not a severe weather look especially. And then on the 24th, we're dry as the active pattern continues. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock today. And don't forget, if you have time, watch us on ABC 3340 News this evening on the live stream or the television side at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.
Hey, this is Ross with my partner Bob. We have a show called Worldview Matters.
And Ross, as you know, we believe that everything in life is somehow related to how people view the world around them.
Our show is available on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Also available on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.